Okay, so I want to show you how I make my smoothies. I like to normally use just water, or what I do, I make a herbal tea. Any tea I like, for instance vervain or chamomile, and then I put it in the fridge, and then I use the cold water instead of, sort of cold tea I mean, instead of water. But I also want to show you how you can make an almond milk, which makes your smoothie very rich and creamy. So I have here almonds soaked in water. Normally I soak them overnight because it's just easy, you don't have to think about it. But if you don't have time or you forgot, like 3 or 4 hours is fine. And you can even pour a little bit of warm water, not boiling hot, but just warm water. And this will help to get the shell, the outside of the almond more easy off. So you can just peel it like this. Yeah, and if you have them soaked for a few hours in the water, that goes quite easy. And the good thing of soaking any nuts is that you activate the enzymes. So in the raw food kitchen, the enzymes are very important. They give us energy, they keep us young. And more healthy, because if you eat a nut just like that, it has enzyme inhibitors. And so when you eat a lot of nuts, it can feel quite heavy, and it can also be quite indigestible. So if you soak them, they become much lighter for you, and they have a lot of life force energy, you could say, enzymes. So I have here about half a cup of soaked almonds, which I'm going to put in a blender. And as you can see, I have a high-speed blender. It's quite an expensive one. But for smoothies, you don't really need such an expensive blender. You can buy them already like for 25, 35 euros. You can have quite a good one. And especially for smoothies, you don't need like to blend very hard things. So with this one, you can blend even grains, or you can blend even carrots. But for soft things, and especially when the nuts are soaked, they're also soft, it's quite easy. So I have half a cup of almonds, and I have about 2 cups of water. So I'm just going to add those together. This is a very simple almond milk. If you want to make an almond milk really for the milk, for instance for breakfast, or if you want to add it to, for breakfast, for muesli or for chai, then it's very nice to add, for instance, some vanilla, which is really delicious, or a pinch of salt, or some cinnamon can be nice. So you can just experiment, even sweeten it a bit. But here it's just almonds and water. I'm going to put on a blender. I'm going to make a bit of noise. Oh. Of course, the better blender you have, the stronger it will make the mixture and the more smooth it will be. But if you have a cheap blender, just blend it a bit longer. Then I have a normal sieve, and I'm just going to sieve this. And what's coming out is almond milk. And it helps sometimes with a spoon to do a little bit like this. And the pulp that I have now left here, this I'm going to use for other things. You can make lovely cheeses from it, you can make delicious sweets. There's many ways to use this beautiful almond pulp. But for the smoothie, I don't like it so much, because it makes it thick, but in a way that you feel it's not really smooth. Like a smoothie, the name says, should be nice and smooth. Oops. Okay, last bit. So now for this smoothie we're going to use the base of the almond milk. And by the way, you can do this with any nuts. For instance, Brazil nuts are very nice for milk. Or walnuts, not the best for milk, but you can use them. Oh, that was a bit of the pulp. Okay. Actually, no, this is the milk. So now I want to show you a few variations, what's possible. So I like to use frozen fruits. Sometimes I freeze bananas, mango, whatever you like actually. This time we picked a lot of mulberries, because here in Spain now it's mulberry time, but I had them in the freezer because they keep much better. So this is about 1 full cup of mulberries. And then I'm going to add a lot of greens. So it's very good when you make a smoothie to try to add as much greens as you can. So you can use any green. Spinach is very easy. We now have a lot of kale and pak choi, so that's what I'm going to use to put in here. You can also use herbs like coriander is very delicious, especially with certain fruits like papaya or mango. You can use parsley. There's many ways you can add your greens to the smoothie. So in that way you kind of hide all the more bitter taste of the greens, and you still get all the greens. It's still quite alkalizing, but the fruits harmonize it, and it's better to use like berry fruits if you want to alkalize your body more. If you can have sweet fruits, then of course there's many beautiful fruits like papaya and mango. Okay, so I'm just gonna get the greens. So here I have my greens. This is some pak choi leaves and some kale fresh from the garden. Also, you can freeze your greens like spinach or whatever in the freezer. If you just want to have everything ready, then that's also possible. So I would say about 2 bunches of green, like 2 full, like hands full. Well, if it's cut, it's 1 big handful, like this. And then, so now we just have the almond milk, we have the berries, and we have the greens. Now to make it a little bit more thick and more tasty, you have a few alternatives. For instance, if you add half an avocado, it will become nice, thick and creamy. If you want to have it a little bit more thick, then I like to add a tablespoon. Let me see, where's my tablespoon? Yeah. If you want to have it a bit more thick, like then it's very nice to use chia seeds. These are like little seeds, and they take 10 times the amount of water in them. So they're very good to hydrate your body. You should not eat chia seeds just like that, because then they actually dehydrate the body. Chia seeds have a lot of omega-3, which is a very important one, which is not so easy to get. So that is good to remember. So I added now a tablespoon of chia seeds, and I'm also going to add a tablespoon of coconut oil. Coconut oil is also very healthy. And when you put a little bit of oil in your smoothie, it helps to feel more satisfied for a longer time. So I've added chia seeds with omega-3. I've added coconut oil, 1 tablespoon, and I'm going to add a superfood. So it's nice to put, I like to put 1 superfood in my smoothie, not mix too many, because there's already many ingredients. So sometimes I put maca. I find maca works really well with sweet fruits. And with this I find spirulina works really well. So the teaspoon doesn't fit in. So this is about a teaspoon that I'm going to add. Spirulina has about 70% protein and lots of chlorella, which is again very alkalizing for the body, so that's great. I won't put avocado also because it's going to be a bit too much, but if you don't have the chia seeds, you can decide to take avocado. And I have at the moment some fresh figs that are just growing on our tree outside, so I'm going to add some figs. So I'm going to give you some different recipes, and we can share with the group, in the Facebook group. We can share recipes, so I'm going to put 2 figs in here. And that's it. If you want to make another smoothie, like for instance here I have a beautiful mango, which is also very delicious, as I just said. And you can add, for instance, a spice like turmeric. I have turmeric here, but that would not fit here. Vanilla bean is very nice. I will not add it this time, but this is a vanilla bean, and you can cut it open and take the inside and put it in there. And then you can use the outside still for warm drinks. So that's another very nice thing to do. You can add some lemon. At the moment it's hot here in Spain, so I like to add a few ice cubes. They're already a little bit melted. So that's all up to you. So this is not like one fixed recipe. This is really for you to get new ideas maybe, get creative, and also just see what you have in your house. So if you're going to put fruits in the freezer, it's very good to cut them first. So if you have a banana, peel them, cut it in pieces, and put it in a plastic zipper lock. If you want to do that with mango or berries, I just put them in a Tupperware. And if you want to put your greens, like for instance spinach, you can even just have it washed and everything ready in the freezer, and then you can just put everything in your blender and it's ready. And for me this is really like my meal in the morning before I start my yoga, or sometimes even afterwards, that I just have something quite solid with a lot of vitamins and minerals and enzymes and all the healthy goodies. And then later if I get more hungry I'll have some more food, but this can keep you a long time satisfied. So I'm going to put the blender on again. Okay, and your smoothie is ready. And I like the substance tea like this. Like it's not too thick, it's not too thin. You can eat it with a spoon if you like, or you can just sip it like that. And I always like to add something on my smoothie to make it also that you can chew it a little bit, because actually they say eat your drinks and drink your food, which means like if you eat, chew as much as possible, so it's kind of becomes liquid. And when you drink something, really chew it, and it helps to add something. So here I have some cacao beans. Actually I prefer to use cacao nibs, but I don't have them at the moment. So these, then I make them fine and I add them on top. Sometimes I add some hemp seeds, hulled hemp seeds, or if you eat pollen, which are very healthy because they have all the vitamins in them and minerals, but they're not vegan, so if you are a vegan then that's not an option. And one more thing about hulled hemp seeds, so those are hemp seeds where the shell is taken off. If you want to make a milk and you have those, you can just add water and a tablespoon of hulled hemp seeds and you have already a milk. You just whiz it in the blender and you don't even have to put it through the sieve because it's already so small and it just dissolves. So that's another way of making milk. And one more way of making a nice milk is if you have almond butter or cashew butter. Actually cashew milk is also very nice. Then you can just add like a tablespoon to your water, and also you don't have to sieve it, and you have also already a beautiful milk. So enjoy, experiment, and I will also give you some more recipes to make delicious smoothies. And smoothies I think are especially nice to drink in the morning when you haven't been eating anything else, because then your body can really absorb it all. I mean, of course you can have a tea or a juice or anything, but not like solid food. And if you have too much, then you can always keep a little bit in the fridge, and then, for instance, if you have an afternoon kind of dip, then you could also have your smoothie again. Okay, enjoy!